Hey guys, on this episode of G Reviews, I show you how to correct this situation. The Xmaxx just sends all the power to the front wheels. Today we're going to be putting in the 20 million weight fluid to the center differential of the Xmaxx. We're gonna break it down step by step, how to do it, how to get to the center differential. So stay tuned this time on G Reviews. Alright guys, so today on this particular video, like I said, I'm going to be putting in this 20 million weight diff fluid to the center differential. So essentially what we're going to have to do is take the back half of the truck off. We're also in a future video going to be putting in these diff lubes. So stock, it comes with the 30K weight in the rear and 10K in the front. I'm going to be putting 50K in the back and 30 in the front. I don't know, I just feel like all the power is being sent to the front tires right now. Maybe just having the 20 million weight in here is going to help a lot. I'm getting a clicking from the front. I'm pretty sure it's from the front differential. So there might be something going on up there. Maybe that doesn't have any fluid. Anyway, like I said, today I'm going to be taking off the back half of the truck. And to do that, we're basically just going to start off by taking off the bottom skid plate, and then there are 4 screws right next to the motor. So it's 2 here, 2 there, and basically take all this stuff off. So you got to take off the motor cover, these 2 screws here, these 2 here, and like I said, all the little stuff down here. But again, it's all pretty easy. Just if you have any particular questions, you can just let me know in the chats. But I'm going to be just doing a little time lapse here of me disassembling it. Like I said, if you have specific questions, you can certainly leave those down in the comments. Let's start the process of tearing down the Xmaxx. First thing we're gonna do is take all the tires off. Want to get those out of the way as they're pretty bulky. So I'm just explaining here, there's the skid plate on the bottom, and there's also quite a few screws. So we're gonna take out the 4 main bulkhead bolts. First, we're gonna put those in our Ryobi. And again, any of these plastics, make sure that the transmission on your cordless is set to, you know, probably 8 or less, just so you're not stripping out plastic pieces. Now we're going to take out the 4 bolts that are right next to the motor, loosen those up, and we're going to flip the truck over and take off the skid plate bolts. All right, so now we're going to do the skid plate bolts. There's 8 of those total. And it really makes it not so bad if you have a cordless drill to take these things out, because if you're going to do all these by hand, the Xmaxx has a lot of bolts, and it would take a very long time if you're going to do all this stuff by hand. So the next few that I'm just doing all the small bolts. That was the pinion gear cover. So now at this point I'm kind of looking around like, you know, what do I need to take out? And actually, it's the 2 bolts right there. You go. I figured it out. There's the 2 bolts there that hold the tower brace. There we go. Now it's kind of loose. So now what you can either do is disconnect the motor, or you could actually just unbolt the motor from the motor mount. I just choose to unbolt the motor because, yeah, it's easy to take the 3 wires out for the motor itself, but the fans, those are small little ones, and you actually have to open up the receiver box to take those out. So I just chose to unbolt the motor itself, and here we go. Now we have access to the center diff and even the rear diff as well. All right, so we have cleaned out the center differential a little bit, more than it was before. It's not perfect, but again, I'm just going to be stuffing it with a bunch more grease. So I'm not super concerned with a little bit of leftover residue from the other grease. So again, 20 million weight fluid. It's not even fluid. It's literally just like gunk. From what I've seen, it's like super thick, almost to the point of basically just locking the center differential, which is kind of the point. So yeah, I mean, it's literally just like, it's not even liquid, it's just like gel. A little bit of grease on this outside spot. I'll drop that in. All right, so next we're gonna be packing packing the center differential with this 20 million weight fluid. I was gonna call it grease, but so it's just literally just kind of like almost like jelly almost. So you're gonna try to pack it in there real well. Right, so kind of like that. Then we will drop down our spider gears. And then the other set. This should really wake the truck right up, because before it just sent so much of the power to the front tires, it was kind of annoying. It didn't really ever actually take off, which again is not very much fun. Alright, it's gonna look something like that. And then we're gonna put a whole bunch more, not a whole bunch more, but a substantial amount more of this fluid on top of that. Just trying to really pack it in there. So basically we're just kind of locking the differential. That's kind of the point. The only reason it looks black is just because the grease, but we're just trying to basically just cover the whole thing. So anyway, that should be all we need. Alright guys, that should be all there really is to it. Let's put this guy back together. That about wraps up this video on changing the center diff fluid of the Xmaxx and adding that 20 million weight in there. Yeah, it's not too bad, it's not too hard. Overall, it was, like I said, the skid plate on the bottom, 4 screws around the motor. If you want it, you got to unscrew the motor itself. There's a few bolts keeping the back half of the truck on. Once you get all that and take basically the back half of the truck off, it's pretty easy to get to the center diff. So that's it for this video. In the next video, I'm gonna go ahead and replace the rear diff fluid with the 50,000 weight fluid. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel for more great Traxxas content and other RC videos. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.